I've saved my changes as 4stylesanall.ai found inside the O8 type folder, so called because we've assembled a total of 4 paragraph styles at this point. Now I'd like to further distinguish one stanza in the poem from the next by introducing an ornamental character. And this is a character that's included with the font I'm using, Adobe Caslon Pro, but I can't easily access it from the keyboard. And really honestly, how would I know that character is available to me unless I could see it? And that's the advantage of working with the Glyphs panel in Illustrator. And if you enjoy working with type, I tell you what, you're going to love this panel. So I'm going to switch to the type tool, and then I'm going to click after the period in the word ukulele, and I'll press the Enter key or the Return key on the Mac in order to introduce a new line of type. Then I'll go up to the type menu and I'll choose the Glyphs command. And by default, you'll probably see a small version of the Glyphs panel, but you can expand it if you want to just by dragging the bottom right corner of the panel like so. Notice that I'm seeing the contents of the active font, which is Adobe Caslon Pro, but if you want, you can switch to a totally different font and find still more characters, all kinds of ornaments that are hidden inside the various fonts. Notice that things start off with the capital letters, then we have the small letters. You can find alternates for each one of the characters by clicking and holding. For example, if I click and hold on the capital C, I see a normal capital letter and a small capital letter that's designed to work with the capital. So in other words, rather than just reducing the size of a capital letter and getting a smaller weight version of that letter that doesn't look right, we have a thick version of that small cap layer that looks great next to the big cap. Then we have this crazy ornament. Not sure what that's about, but for some reason, Illustrator considers it to be an alternative to a capital C. And if I select that ornamental character, it's going to appear here inside of my page. All right, I don't want that ornament, so I'm going to backspace it. Notice we also have access to the various punctuation symbols. We've got built fractions down here in the lower region of this panel. Let's say I just want to see the ornaments. Well, I would go up to the Show option and I'd switch it from Entire Font to Ornaments. And then I'll just see the various ornamental characters that are associated with this specific font. Now, if I want to zoom in and check them out in more detail, then I can click on this big mountain range right there. That will zoom me into the text. And look at that guy, that pineapple. I like that. So I'll go ahead and double click on it, and that adds that character to my text. All right, Glyphs panel, I'm done with you, so I'll go ahead and close the panel by clicking on its close box. I will triple click in this line of type to select the entire pineapple and its paragraph break and everything. And now I'll apply some additional formatting. I'll bring up the paragraph panel, and I'm going to change that space before paragraph value to 21 points, like so. And that will give me some additional spacing. Let's say I want to change the color of my text. How do you do that? It's a character level formatting attribute, but it's not available to me here inside the character panel. Well, you go over to your color panel, or you can apply a swatch, of course. Make sure that the fill is active because you can stroke characters of text if you like. And I'm going to change the color of this character to cyan 100, 30% magenta, 80% yellow, and then I'll change the K value black to 0. And we end up with this effect here. Now, we can't see what that effect is. I'm going to zoom in on that little pineapple, incidentally. Notice you can't really gauge the color because the text is highlighted and therefore the color gets inverted. Well, press Control-H or Command-H on the Mac to hide that highlighting. Now then, I want to go ahead and center this pineapple. So I'll go up to the Control panel once again, and I'll click on Align Center, or I could press the keyboard shortcut, Control-Shift-C, Command-Shift-C on the Mac. That's not quite centered. This guideline right there represents the exact center of the page. So this pineapple is slightly right of center. What gives? Why is this happening? Well, recall that we went ahead and created this vertical guideline that is 24 points away from the left side of the margin. So we've already got the text weighted over to the right a little bit, and that affects the pineapple as well. So I'll go up to the paragraph panel, and I'll change this right indent value. I'll click on it, and I'll change it to 24 points, and press the Tab key. And that goes ahead and adds a 24-point indent on the right-hand side, and thus exactly centers the pineapple like so. Awesome. All right, the final thing we need to do is repeat that pineapple. So I'm going to go to the Edit menu, and I'm going to choose the Copy command, or press Control-C, Command-C on the Mac. And you might say, Deke, what in the world are you copying? Nothing selected inside the document. Well, really, truly, the pineapple is still selected. If I press Control-H or Command-H on the Mac, it's still highlighted. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and press the Escape key, in order to deactivate the text for a moment. Then I'll move over to the second page because we don't really need an ornament between the second and third stanzas because they appear on different pages, or at least they're supposed to. Something's gone a little bit wrong here. We have the final line of the second stanza on the second page. So you know what? I'm going to have to adjust my paragraph style once again. So awesome that you can do this. I will click off of my text to deselect it, and I'll bring up my paragraph styles panel, and I'll double click on large standard. And let's go ahead and try changing the basic character formats here. I'm going to reduce my leading value, and I've got the preview checkbox turned on, so I should be able to see what I'm doing. I'll change that leading value to 36 points, and that goes ahead and takes care of the problem. See how awesome paragraph styles are? I'll go ahead and click on the OK button in order to accept that modification. So point being, we really just need pineapples on the second and third artboards at this point. So I'll press the T key to get my type tool. I'll click in front of the M in my, and I'll press Control V or Command V on the Mac to paste that pineapple. Click in front of the I and I chanced, and press Control V or Command V on the Mac to paste that pineapple. Click in front of the W in well, and I'm going to go ahead and scroll over by pressing the Control key as I scroll down with my scroll wheel. That would be a command scroll down on the Mac if necessary. And I'll press Control V in order to paste that pineapple. Click in front of the S and so. Press Control V once again to paste the final pineapple. And we end up with this effect right there. I'll go ahead and zoom out a little bit and press Shift Tab to hide those right side panels. This is how your document should look as well if you're working along with me. In the next exercise, we should run a spell check.